Of Saints and Sinners by Morningstar Writes. Chapter 15. The Cherry. Charlie! Dad! Lucifer is the first to arrive at the party, and Charlie presents the space with a flourish. It's completely transformed into a Vegas-style casino filled to the brim with blinking lights and colorful machines. Welcome to your celebration! We have a ton of games and activities, so feel free to play, whenever you want to. Wow, Charlie, you really outdone yourself. Lucifer whistles appreciatively at the sight. Although, whoo boy, I have no idea where to start. No problem. Let me show you what I've got planned for tonight. She passes over a thick notepad to him, and he looks over at her notes. Charlie's Casino Celebration Checklist, also known as C4. Slot machines, table games, self-serve bar, drink responsibly, casino chip kiosks, unlimited tokens, poker table. So to close off the night, I was thinking we can all play poker together. Charlie gestures towards a large oval card table covered in felt. Husk agreed to be our dealer, and... She pauses mid-sentence to look at his outfit, which makes him look down as well. Dad? Charlie says delicately, as though she were struggling on how to phrase it. This is not a big deal at all, but I've actually decided on a dress code for the party. And although you look amazing in your usual clothes, do you have something fancier for tonight? That's when Lucifer registers that Charlie is wearing something entirely new. A corseted vest, atop a plaid button-up, and her hair is loose and free. Oh, no wonder you look different. Of course I can. Gotta wear something fancy, Lucifer thinks, but what color? His mind wanders over to Alastor, perpetually in red and black, and he snaps his fingers distractedly, changing his outfit in an instant. But then Charlie looks at it puzzled. Oh, that shirt isn't that a color you normally wear? Not that it looks bad. What? Lucifer lifts up his arm to check the sleeve, which he had made it red, and his face starts to match the shade. Whoops, just a small wardrobe malfunction. Lucifer adjusts it to pink in an instant, and he throws on a white vest for good measure. This is better. What is? Ah! He glowers at Alastor, who seems pleased to have got him off guard. He's morphed out from his shadow to stand beside him, and Lucifer points at him aggressively. All right, that's it. The next time you do that, we're going to fight. Is that so? Alastor's grin is all teeth. Why, wait, let's settle our score right now. No fighting tonight, Charlie says hurriedly. Alastor fiddles with his cuffs, visibly annoyed. That's a lot less fun, but I suppose we'll table this brawl for another day. Lucifer takes the opportunity to glance over at him. Alastor has a jacket thrown over his shoulders, black with an argyle lining, and his shirt is a deep, dark red. Although he's always been tall and lean, the cut of the fabric really accentuates it. The problem is that it's the exact shade of red Lucifer's shirt used to be, right before he switched colors, and he feels like he's about to combust from mortification. Even worse, Charlie seems to pick up on that fact as well, and she looks at the two of them rather oddly. She hesitates and then starts inching towards the door. I'm just going to go check on Maggie. Please don't burn anything down, okay? Charlie, Lucifer wants to explain himself, but what can he even say? I was thinking of Alastor, and that's why my suit was red. No, it was not planned. I mean, I guess in the back of my head I figured that he would wear red, but it wasn't intentional as well. It's too late now, anyway. Charlie disappears around the corner with a switch of her coattails, and it's just the two of them in the fake casino. It has been quite some time since I've visited one of these places. Alastor taps one of the slot machines, and as Lucifer looks around, an idea worms its way into his head. Oh, yeah? I guess that means you're ready to lose. Lucifer grins wickedly, and Alastor immediately understands his insinuation. I'm quite certain that I will be the victor tonight. You should know that I have an excellent poker face. Want to bet? Alastor's eyes glow with intrigue. How very interesting. What are the stakes? Lucifer picks up a casino chip, red and black in color. Winner is whoever has the most chips. And the prize, Lucifer reflects on their past wagers. The bow tie game. Infiltrating V-Tower for photographs. Same as usual. Alastor taps a finger on his chin. Fulfilling a single request. Well then. Those terms are fairly agreeable. Ha! You'll regret it once I win. Once I win! Lucifer shakes his head vehemently, but his hair, normally slicked back, is wild and untamed tonight. Every time he pushes it back, it falls onto his eyes, and Alastor's eyes follow the motion.
Looks like you're struggling to tame your hair. How unsightly.
Oh, fuck off. Lucifer runs his fingers through his hair, but his blonde locks refuse to cooperate. I ran out of gel, okay?
What a terrible excuse. I believe Charlie enforced a certain requirement on attire tonight.
Alastor sounds casual, but there's something else in his expression. Like he's conflicted? Well, what am I supposed to do about it? Lucifer groans. It's too short to do anything, okay?
Oh, you! Don't you tire of constantly being wrong?
Before Lucifer can send back a retort, Alastor snaps his fingers to materialize two hairpins, long and red in appearance.
These will have to do for now.
He offers them to Lucifer, his smile unreadable.
You should at least attempt to look suitable for the occasion.
Lucifer looks down at the hairpins, then back at Alastor. He can't pinpoint what Alastor's thinking. He's in one of those moods where all his telltale signs are carefully neutral. Deer ears static, smile innocuous, eyes impenetrable like a protected fortress. Sure. Lucifer slowly reaches his hand out, his fingers grazing Alastor's palm, so delicate and quick it's barely detectable, but Alastor flinches at the contact, and it makes him fumble, dropping the pins onto Alastor's hand clumsily. Wow. Lucifer tries to laugh it off while snatching the pins back. Butterfingers over here. He hastily slides the pins over the left side of his head. It's not quite securing his hair in place. The blonde strands refuse to stay put, but it's hard without a mirror. It's even harder when Alastor is just staring at him as he's floundering.
Your incompetence is once again disgraceful.
Alastor heaves out a deep sigh, and he plucks the hairpins right out of his hands. Hey, what gives? Lucifer protests. Alastor's eyes flit unsuredly between the pins, Lucifer's hair, the pins again. Alastor's every word is chosen carefully.
Grow weary of watching you struggle.
The next part happens in slow motion. Alastor extends his hand towards him, and his long red fingers approach his face little by little, the distance shrinking. It's unclear what Alastor is planning, but Lucifer longs to find out. Waits with bated breath until Alastor runs his fingers through Lucifer's hair and softly tucks a stray strand behind his ear. Such a mess. Alastor's voice is quiet, but his words echo in Lucifer's mind. Mess, mess, mess. And it matches the rapid beating of his heart. His touch throws Lucifer back to last night, to the events on the rooftop, to the moon and stars and matching ducks and fluffy ears and unfinished sentences. Alastor's every word and action is so mysterious, so coded behind layers upon layers. Inscrutable, perplexing. Alastor's hand moves deftly after that. He ends up fastening the blonde locks in place, making an X shape with the hairpins, and all too quickly he's done. Is it better now? Lucifer tries to sound breezy, like he couldn't care less, but his throat feels tight.
Much better,
Alastor murmurs. His hand lingers for just a moment before it drops down to his side. BAM! The door slams open, and they both snap their heads to look at the intrusion. Rosie ventures in, wearing an elegant evening frock, and she waves at them both. Oops, I don't realize my own strength sometimes. She laughs airily. Alastor walks over to greet her, and after a beat, Lucifer follows.
Rosie!
Alastor's voice does a complete 180, all bright and breezy.
You look absolutely splendid.
Oh, Alastor, always such a charmer. Rosie looks down at Lucifer, and she motions towards his hair. Is that a new hairstyle, Your Majesty? It's wonderful. Lucifer touches the hairpin subconsciously. He hasn't had a chance to check the mirror, so he has no idea how it looks, but Rosie seems sincere. This is Shit, why can't he stop stuttering? His handiwork. Rosie glances over at Alastor, and a teasing smile grows on her face. Oh, Alastor, I didn't know you liked to do hair. Her voice is thick with implication, and Alastor smiles stiffly.
On occasion.
Rosie places her hand on Alastor's arm affectionately, and Lucifer can't help but watch as the two of them strike up a lively conversation. In his head, he knows that Alastor and Rosie have been friends for a long time. There's a sense of ease when they chat, a tangible comfort when they're together. which is very normal. Terrific, actually! In his heart, their casual intimacy catches him off guard each time, and he's not fine with it. Sure, he and Alastor have gotten better at the friendship stuff. It's just, he still has trouble understanding what's acceptable and what's not. Most interactions with Alastor make him feel lost, like he's navigating the seas without a compass. But Rosie just does! No second guessing, no deliberating, and it fills him with a strange sense of envy, bends him out of shape, and Lucifer has to tear his gaze away. Rosie is perfectly nice, okay? In fact, she's been nothing but polite the whole time he's known her. But does she have to be with them in every moment? Oh my! Looks like I've hit the jackpot again, Rosie says cheerfully. She's playing on the slot machine right between Alastor and Lucifer, and he doesn't know why that observation irks him a little.
It appears that I am also on a winning streak.
Alastor leans back on his chair to look at Lucifer.
It would do wonders for you if you were to concentrate. Or have you already accepted your impending loss?
Lucifer tilts his head back, and the two of them make eye contact. Oh, shut up. Anything can happen. And the night is still young.
Unlike you.
Alastor jeers. Unlike you, he returns. He pulls the handle down on his machine, and when none of the images match up again, he lets out a grumble. Okay, I need a drink. Alastor watches Lucifer as he gets out of his seat.
Oh, I doubt alcohol will help you win. At best, it'll muddle your mind.
Yeah, but at least I can tune you out better. Finally, some peace and quiet.
What a shame. I thought you enjoyed hearing my voice.
Not as much as you do, Lucifer replies absent-mindedly, and Alastor's smile deepens.
So you do like it?
Lucifer realizes way too late that he had someone admitted to liking Alastor's voice, which it's not bad to listen to, even with the radio filter on. His musical lilt is apparent, and in the rare moments when his filter disappears, it's even pleasing. Just fine to hear. No, Lucifer says retroactively, but it's too late now, and he knows it, and Alastor knows it, and Rosie knows it, even though she's pretending that she's not listening, and he takes hurried steps to the bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, regretting again. He loathes that he speaks without thinking, hates it with a passion, and he reaches a hand out to grab the bottle full of whiskey, the crystal glinting prettily under the neon lights. But his hand doesn't hit the cool glass.
What's this now? Isn't whiskey much too bitter for you?
Alastor, when did he even follow after him? Has his red fingers on the bottle, long and sharp, and that's what Lucifer is touching, his own hand covering Alastor's much larger one. Hands, 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 it's always something about them. Lucifer thinks about the first time they held hands, when he healed him, and the moments thereafter, dancing together, going through portals, when he fell and Alastor caught him. His eyes flicker down, and his hand is still on top of Alastor's, and neither of them have pulled away. Alastor's fingers, bright red and always so arresting to look at, twitch uncertainly beneath. Alastor's fingers, bright red and always so arresting to look at, twitch uncertainly beneath Lucifer's hold. It's hard to believe that he once thought of them as large and eerie. Now he's seized by the urge to entwine their fingers together. Lucifer blinks at the notion. What the fuck, he thinks, and he yanks his head back like he just got burned. Well, you know, Lucifer says hurriedly. Add some vermouth, a cherry, and bam, now it's a Manhattan. Alastor narrows his eyes at him.
You really do have the most revolting taste buds.
I'm not going to take that from someone who eats rotting meat. Alastor pours the amber liquid into 2 cups, and in one of the glasses, he conjures up a Mascherino cherry.
Your sugar water,
Alastor says wryly, but he still pushes the cup over to Lucifer. He rolls his eyes, takes a sip, not expecting much from the drink, but it's delicious! Whoa! Lucifer takes another swig before setting it down on the table. I think you're in the wrong career. Stop torturing souls and become a bartender instead.
I don't think so. Only you would enjoy something so sickeningly sweet.
You're missing out, Lucifer scoffs. The whiskey burns as it goes down his throat, cloying yet satisfying. Don't knock it till you try it. The offer slips out, half serious, half joking, with full expectation that Alastor will shoot him down immediately. He pops the Mascherino cherry into his mouth, and it's only after a long period of no response from Alastor that Lucifer starts to get a little worried.
Are you asking me?
Alastor breaks the silence.
To drink from your cup.
He sounds suspicious, a bit guarded. Well, Lucifer pauses. Friends share drinks, don't they? Alastor seems to ruminate over this. Lucifer brushes his hands through his hair distractedly, but his fingers land on the cool metal of the hairpins, still in an X shape. Recalls the sensation of Alastor cautiously styling his hair, warm and careful. And Lucifer finally looks up, his eyes half-lidded. Want a taste? Alastor jolts, smile frozen on his face. His deer ears flatten, and Lucifer clutches his glass tighter. Well, shit. Did I cross a line? He thinks. Lucifer's lost in the seas again, directionless, lacking a compass, unable to interpret the meaning behind Alastor's silence. But then, Alastor holds his hand out.
If you insist.
Lucifer blinks once. Twice. He places the cup down onto his palm, and their fingers brush against each other, pinky fingers barely touching. Alastor hesitates for a second before he lifts the glass to his lips and takes a cautious sip. Alastor immediately sticks his tongue out. It's startlingly pink, longer than he expected. Yuck! Alastor says, but his voice fades into background noise. Lucifer much too fixated on that brief flash of tongue to really register anything else. Fuck, why can't he wrench his eyes away at the sight? Alastor puts the cup back onto the table to grab the entire whiskey bottle instead, and Lucifer digs his fingers into his palms to focus.
Disgusting. As I had expected, I will be drinking from this tonight.
Alastor directs this to Lucifer, but he's having difficulty forming a coherent thought. Are you gonna take the whole thing? We're supposed to drink responsibly. Lucifer's voice is rough, lowered, and Alastor sends a conspiratorial look at him, places his fingers onto his own lips like he's keeping a secret.
I won't tell if you don't.
The very veins inside of Lucifer burn like lava, and he throws blame onto the alcohol. Alastor! Rosie's sudden appearance jerks Lucifer out of the flames and into reality. He takes a large step away from them, watching as she pulls Alastor by the arm. There's a two-player slot machine here. Shall we play it together?
How delightful! Lead the way.
Lucifer stares at their backs as they venture further and further away. Once he can't see them anymore, he downs the rest of his drink in one hasty gulp. Afterwards, it's hard for him to concentrate. He can't get the fleeting sight of Alastor's tongue out of his head, and it's driving him up the wall. Can his brain shut the fuck up so we can pay attention to the games, please? Even so, Lucifer manages to keep his wits about him, and the two of them end up playing every single machine in the casino.
It appears that I've won,
Alastor would say. Looks like I'm the winner, bitch, Lucifer would return. And after game, after game, after game, they're unfortunately stuck at a standstill. Okay, we need a tiebreaker, Lucifer huffs. Is there something we haven't done yet?
Charlie and them are congregating over there.
Alastor points to the poker table, which is overflowing with piles of casino chips.
Shall we make that our final battle?
Works for me. Lucifer leans in, and Alastor smiles at him maliciously. Get ready to lose.
Unfortunately for you, I don't plan to.
Most of them had taken spots already at the poker table. Alastor settles down beside Rosie, while Lucifer looks around at the table for a seat. Alastor taps the empty chair beside him with his radio cane.
Sit down, so we can get started.
It's a command, not a request, and Lucifer lets out a noise of disgruntlement. But he does sit down beside Alastor. And Rosie watches this unfold with great absorption. Do we have enough players? Charlie asks Husk. He waves his hand to signal no, the cuffs around his wrists jingling in the process. 1 sec. Angel's on his way. As if on cue, Angel Dust slams the doors open dramatically. Hey, baby. The main attraction is it? Angel Dust saunters in, and they alter to look at him. Although he's normally dressed up, he cranks it up a notch tonight, adorned in gold accessories and wearing strappy black clothes that emphasize his chest fluff. Whoa, Angel! Charlie claps appreciatively. You look terrific! Thanks, doll, Angel Dust says breezily. His eyes scour the room, and he cocks a hip to the side. Oh, I wonder where I should sit. He sashays forward, pointedly ignores all the other available chairs, and stops where Lucifer's sitting. Angel Dust props an arm on the back of his chair, and he leans down suggestively. Hey, Daddy. Aren't you a sight for sore eyes? Angel Dust sends him a smirk, and Lucifer looks up in confusion. Huh? Oh, did you want the seat? Don't mind if I do. and Angel Dust plops himself down right onto Lucifer's lap.
What the? He gets cut off when Angel Dust places a finger on his lips. He sits bridal style on Lucifer's lap, legs draped over the armrest, and he slings one of his 6 arms around his shoulder.
What?
I'm just sitting in the best seat in the house. Angel Dust bats his eyelashes at him, and
Lucifer is really bewildered.
They're friendly enough with one another, but he's always gotten the vibe that he frustrated Angel Dust somehow. So then, Angel Dust places one of his gloved hands onto Lucifer's chest. What's a guy like you doing in a place like that? Alastor rams Angel Dust's leg with his radio game.
Don't you know the rules? It's one person per chair.
Alastor says cheerfully, but his eyes have no warmth in them. Angel Dust scowls at him before grabbing Lucifer's chin, forcing him to look into his mismatched eyes. Here's a better idea. Why don't we ditch this joint and play some strip poker in my room? Lucifer blinks at this, confused. How would you even play poker with only 2 people? Angel Dust drops his act for a second, looking visibly annoyed, but then he quickly smooths back into flirt mode. Oh, I can think of something much more fun we could do in my bedroom. Ow! Alastor stabs his hand with his radio staff this time.
Now, this is a group celebration.
Alastor's smile looks increasingly forced.
It would be such a shame if you leave. Why don't you take a seat so that we can start?
Nah. Angel Dust jeers at him, and Alice says, I like where I'm sitting. Why do you want me to move so bad? Yes, Alastor, Rosie chimes in, entwining her fingers under her chin. Why do you want him to move so much? Alastor shoots her a glare, but Rosie doesn't look bothered at all. Can you get off now? Lucifer asks, and Angel Dust leans in, the tips of their noses touching. He's so close that he can practically feel Angel Dust's breath, cold and minty fresh. Oh, I can get you up. Ah! Alastor grabs Angel Dust using his shadow and shoves him onto a different chair. It all happens in the blink of an eye, and Angel Dust shoots out of his new seat indignantly.
Aye! What gives?
Angel Dust complains.
That hurt, you freak! I do hate repeating myself.
Alastor's eyes glowed, ticking away into radio dials.
But I will say this one more time. You are holding up the game. Lucifer and I have a bet to uphold, after all.
Oh, yeah. Lucifer smirks. Prepare yourself. I'm going to eat your ass. Angel Dust lets out a spluttering cough.
What the actual? Rephrase it right now!
Huh? Oh, I'm definitely going to win tonight. Lucifer says, and Angel Dust scrunches his eyebrows, trying his best to decipher. And then clarity appears in his eyes.
Beat your ass!
Angel Dust lets out a deep sigh, clearly irritated, and that's the expression that Lucifer is familiar with. Oh, good. Lucifer can't help but smile. You look more like yourself again. Angel Dust raises his eyebrows in surprise, but he ends up smiling back. Aw, you know what? I'm rather moved that you noticed. He places one of his 6 hands onto Lucifer's shoulder, more friendly than flirty. In the background, Alastor's shadow leaps out of his back from vexation. Bet, call, raise, fold. They've been playing for quite some time, and Lucifer watches with horror as his poker chips dwindle and Alastor's grows exponentially. Shit, you weren't kidding when you said you have a good poker face. Lucifer folds again, annoyed at the outcome.
Looks like you won't be eating my ass tonight.
Alastor mocks and Angel Dust slaps his hand onto his own forehead.
Oh, for the love of... You two have to stop.
Angel Dust grumbles.
It's beat! Beat your ass!
Reveal your cards. Husk drones and they all flip it over.
Yay! I got a royal flush!
Nifty yells. Nifty? Maggie flips her ponytail over her shoulder before squinting at her. That's your 5th one in a row. Hold up, Lucifer says slowly. I don't think this game is legal.
Are you accusing me?
Nifty cries out. Absolutely. Maggie gets out of her seat and walks towards her, her red gown swishing with every step she takes. There is no way you can even have 5 royal flushes. I mean, we only have 4 sets of kings, queens, and jacks in a deck. Maggie grabs Nifty and starts to shake her around. Extra cards tumble out of the folds of her puffy dress, and Husk takes a drag on his cigar. Nif, you been cheating.
Whatever, I know you're a cheater.
Nifty points at Husk emphatically.
And you!
She continues to point at every single person, all except for Charlie, Vaggie, Lucifer, and Alastor. Are you serious? Vaggie looks visibly pissed off. Half of you were cheating? What was the whole point of playing this then?
Hey, it's all in good fun, isn't it?
Angel does cackles. They devolve into bickering, but Lucifer doesn't participate, instead turning towards Alastor. So you didn't cheat?
I'm very good at bluffing.
Alastor throws his cards down onto the table, and his hand is really quite awful.
Besides, I don't need to cheat to beat you. Ha ha!
Technically, it's a draw. Lucifer smiles at him smugly, runs his fingers through his hair, hits the X-shaped pins again. He keeps forgetting that they're there, and he drops his hand down immediately.
A draw?
Alastor drums his fingers against the table, looking displeased.
Well, I suppose that is accurate. A request from each of us, then.
Lucifer blinks at this, not expecting him to agree, and definitely not expecting him to update the rules in that way. He mulls over the revised terms before eventually nodding. In the meantime, the squabble turns even more heated, and they're yelling and throwing chips and cards, and Charlie tries to calm them down, and Maggie turns red from exertion, and Alastor gestured towards the door with his head.
Let's make our exit here, shall we?
They're about to leave the room when Rosie places a hand on Alastor's arm.
Alastor, can you stay for a second?
She asks. Alastor raises an eyebrow, but he does linger behind.
He'll be with you in a second, Your Majesty.
A flicker of annoyance flashes across Lucifer's face, so quick that Alastor might have imagined it. I'll wait for you at the stairs. He waves goodbye. See you, Rosie.
Goodbye, Your Highness.
She waits for Lucifer to disappear around the corner before turning to face him.
I just need you to explain something, mister. What's next for you?
They stare at each other, and he's having some difficulty understanding what exactly Rosie's asking for.
What is this in reference to?
Rosie smiles at him with some exasperation.
About Lucifer.
Lucifer?
Alastor repeats.
There is no next. It's done. Finalized. We're friends now.
Well, and Rosie looks like she's pondering the best way to say it. I think there might be a next for you.
He doesn't comprehend.
Just think about it.
She lets go of him, and he's left ever more in the dark. They walk through the hallway together, side by side. The hotel is unnaturally quiet after the hubbub of the poker game. They even sip from their whiskey glasses in silence, and the lack of noise is starting to drive Lucifer crazy. So he settles for something tried and true. What's my compliment today?
Oh?
Alastor looks at him curiously.
Well.
He finishes his glass of whiskey first, and then he pours some more, and downs that one too. Whoa, Lucifer says, amused. Save some for the rest of us. Alastor immediately refills Lucifer's cup from his bottle, the alcohol splashing out a bit. He then snaps his fingers, conjuring so many Mascherino cherries they overflow from the glass and spill out onto the floor. What in the...
That tail of yours.
Alastor cuts in. Lucifer looks at him, but he's deliberately avoiding eye contact.
Do you only have it in your demon form?
Oh. Yeah, why?
He speaks in haltingly stilted sentences.
Well, it looks handy.
Handy, Lucifer echoes. I guess. I mean, I could wrap it around stuff.
Can you now?
Alastor sounds pensive.
I'll keep that in mind.
It's Lucifer's turn to offer up a compliment. His eyes flick back up at Alastor's ears, but he's already commended them once. Although, a thought crosses his mind. Since you have ears, do you also have a tail? Alastor's dear ears flatten.
Why do you ask?
That's not a no. Lucifer grins, and he grumbles in response. Alastor looks a bit nervous at the topic, and Lucifer has the impulse to put his mind at rest, to pet his ears or something. But he's only done it once, and he doesn't want to make Alastor uncomfortable in any way, so he keeps his hands to himself. Instead, Lucifer says something stupid. You're kind of considerate.
What?
Alastor visibly stiffens up, smile freezing, body bristling, eyes widening from surprise. Lucifer starts tripping over his words again. Yeah, I mean, you know.
He takes in a deep breath, steadies himself.
The drink tonight, right?
He picks up a cherry from his cup, red and glassy.
The fruit falls off the stalk, and he's left holding just the stem between his fingers. I mean, look at all this. You didn't have to, but you did. Alastor still doesn't respond, and he's still stiff as hell, and it's awkward, and Lucifer, for fuck's sake, don't make this weird! He hurries to say something. Anything. Do you like tricks? Lucifer all but yells, and Alastor jolts back from his outburst. Who doesn't like tricks, am I right? Okay, watch this. His head is a bit dizzy from the alcohol, and he feels warmest, whiskey burning all the way down into his body. So this is a very ordinary cherry stem. Lucifer dangles it in his hands. And now I'm just gonna... He puts the cherry stalk in his mouth. After a moment, he sticks his tongue out to reveal a perfect knot in the stem, and Alastor's eyes hone in on the sight, unblinking, hyper-focused, and everything is blazing hot when Alastor stares at him with those piercing red eyes. Voila! He takes it out and waves it in front of his face. Cool, huh? Just a fun little party trick. Seems to be a big hit whenever I do it. Alastor leans in to look at it up close.
Fascinating.
It's here that Lucifer realizes he's walked Alastor to his door for some reason. Oh, well, we're at your room. He puts the stem back into his cup and he starts to form a portal. I guess I'll see you.
No.
No. Alastor opens his door.
I know what request to ask of you.
He looks down at him, his smile wide and mysterious.
What about you, Lucifer?
His portal fizzles out and, like always, he feels a strange draw to him as though he's attached to Alastor by an invisible string. Lucifer moves before he can even think about it, making his way in, and the door shuts behind them. Lute gazes at the Has-Been Hotel, and she's engulfed by the memories of the last extermination day. The standoff with hell, the bloodshed, the moment she lost her arm, the moment where she lost Adam. She tears her eyes away from the red landscape, and she kicks at the dirt from anger. Fucking hellborn trash! She spits out. She's been looking around for some time now, and Adam's gone. Of course, it's been a few months, and that fact shouldn't hurt at this point, but the pain will always be there. It's from the corner of her eye that she finds, buried in the dirt, just the smallest scrap of his shirt, gold and brilliantly shiny. She digs it out with her bare hands, and she almost wants to sob at the sight, but she reins it in. Rest in peace, sir. She tucks the fabric into her pocket before steeling herself, staring determinedly at the hotel. Time to visit that little monster.